Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sever the Bond, and welcome back to another video. It is a few hours later, and we have just completed our game. We went out there and we beat the Timberwolves in overtime. I was slightly disappointed because I forgot that they traded D'Lo, so we didn't get to see D'Angelo Russell, but that's not here nor there. We got to see Michael Grady, so that was fun. But yeah, they went out there and they were down by quite a bit. Then they came all the way back, took the lead, and got to overtime, and they didn't choke. They didn't fold. Claxton fouled out, which is a shame because I really wanted to dedicate this video to specifically Claxton, but I gotta keep the same energy when someone fouls out. Right? So I don't want the Ben Simmons fans to get upset. So let me keep the same energy. Claxton. Anyway. You're on Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sever the Bond. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. I'll leave Jacques Vaughn alone. The only thing I will say is that not playing Nerlens Noel is a choice. Not playing Cam Thomas for the second half of the game is a choice. Not letting Watanabe sniff the... These are choices being made by Jacques Vaughn, but when the game ends in a W, I reserve my comments. But this is no ordinary W. This isn't like the last couple victories to where it's like I speak my piece and get my stuff off. This was the measuring stick game, and we've been talking about this game for a week and a half now, and how important this was going to be. We had a couple crappy teams that we went up against. Then we had the last game last night against the Milwaukee, which I don't think anyone thought we were going to win, even though they were close, but nobody really expected going in that we were going to win the game. This was the measuring stick game. This was a game against another team that's kind of in the same ballpark as us. They're kind of in that Sacramento Kings lane. They're in that I can't think of another Knicks. Like, I can't think of another mid-tier team. But like they're in that mid card, if you will, to where it's like they're not the heavy hitters, but they're the teams that can make some noise. They're the teams where if you get the right matchup, you can mess around and go to the second round. And if you keep getting the right matchups, you can even make it out of your conference possibly. And winning against them was huge. They did it together. They did it as a team. Again, Jacques Vaughn's questionable coaching decisions aside, they did that. They went out there and they did that. They proved that they are a group and they're able to work together coherently. Their identity seems to be scrappy, which, I mean, I'm not really here for, but that seems to be what they're going for. They're going to be the grind it out, do whatever it takes to win type stuff. And again, there's a difference between like hustling and being dogs and being scrappy. I think those are two completely different things. The scrappy team really has no expectations for what they're trying to do. They just want to go out there and play better than they did yesterday, which is fine. I don't like that, but it is what it is. But that seems to be the mentality of the team that we have right now. It is the embodiment of a dub is a dub culture, where it's like it doesn't really matter what the context is. We're just going to make sure we're not the team that lost, which again, I don't really think that equates to winning games that matter, but it's nice to see that we have an identity, because that's what I've been worried about for the last couple weeks. Are we the defensive team? Are we the team with the young stars? Like, what are we? And it seems like they're going for scrappy. You've got individuals like Spencer Dinwiddie, who seems to clearly be the leader of the team, and we will live and die by his decision making. Again, do I like that personally? No, but that's just what the team is, and they're successful, and they're the Brooklyn Nets, and that's my team. So I have no choice but to go with it. But again, this measuring stick game, these are different than other games. These are the type of games to where it's like, okay, we know who we are. We're about to enter the postseason. It's time to get delusional. So from here on out on Nets Republic, doesn't matter how many games they lose, doesn't matter how many games they win, doesn't matter who gets hurt, who gets added, who comes back, whatever. For the rest of the season and for the rest of the playoffs and all that, we go into delusional land. Now, some of you might argue that I've already been delusional, but we will legitimately go into a realm to where it is strictly Homer status, not Simpson, but we are strictly going to be positive from here on out because we're going into the playoffs. And as everyone knows, especially y'all at this point, you never know what's going to happen. It's all about matchups. If we match up against the right team in the playoffs, we could really go super, super far here. Like, I'm talking about, like, if in the first round we, I don't know, somehow run into the Hawks or something like that, right? That's a very favorable matchup. Let's say we run into, who's a top tier team we can probably get past? Say we run into the Sixers or something like that, right? I don't know about Milwaukee or the Celtics or anything like that, but let's say we run into the Sixers or the Cavaliers or something like that, right? Those are two teams that I can 100% see us getting past. I know some of you are like, Sever, the Sixers? I'm not afraid of the Sixers like that. We all know what James Harden does in the playoffs, and Embiid is one twisted ankle away from them imploding entirely. So they need to prove to the rest of the world that their series, the regular season is cute, but do it when it actually matters. So them and the Cavs, who y'all know I'm not sold on them in the slightest. We match up with one of them in the first round. We pull off the quote-unquote upset. We're in the second round. And if we get a team that's not taking us seriously, again, like, let's say, I don't know, the Hawks take out the Knicks again, right? And we see the Hawks in the second round, right? We're destroying them, right? All of a sudden, you're at the Eastern Conference Finals. And who knows, maybe Jason Tatum gets hurt or something like that. I don't know. And we go up against maybe a team that's a little battered and bruised. Maybe there was another upset somewhere. Who knows? Maybe Jimmy Butler comes to life and we see the Heat. We're beating the Heat. And they could put the play-in tournament. Like, maybe someone's going to come through there and, right? So it's all about the matchups. And I think that as long as we just avoid the certain landmine teams in the first round, anything's possible. This group is young, yeah, but this group is full of winners. I gotta give them that. Spencer Dinwiddie's got playoff experience from being on the Mavericks. We all know Mikal Bridges and Cam Thomas and Cam Johnson are used to being in a winning culture and a winning environment. So they'll step up and do whatever it is they were doing in the Suns, right? They'll bring that over to here. Claxton, is Claxton not the best center in clearly the state? I'm not going to jump out the window and say the conference, but Claxton's really, really good. I think it's that time. I think it's that time to enter delusional land. So again, everyone knows where I stand with this team. We know I'm not the biggest fan of who we have and what we've constructed here, but they're the Nets. They're the Nets. They're my team, and we're about to enter the playoffs. So we all know where I stand. So when new people come onto the channel and they're like, oh, wow, this guy thinks blah, 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 and blah, blah, please remind them that I am in something called delusional mode. Just remind them. I'm sure you will, but that's not here or there. So from here on out, nothing but positivity, nothing but delusion. I will see y'all in the summer, I suppose. So let's... How can we balance it? I'm going to wear this. This is going to be a symbol of my on-camera delusion for the rest of the season. Okay. I'll see y'all in the summer. Y'all, they had us in the first half, I ain't gonna lie to you. They held us down Teams were backing us into corners. Trades were made. Assumptions were cast. But now it's playoff time. And your personal opinions on who we have on the team, who is playing, who's not, that goes out the window. Because it's playoff time. We got about a month left. Barely 20 games. It's time to jockey for position. It's time to find out who it is that who it is that we are going to be come playoff time, and all the things that need to be accomplished. We are going to go out here in these YouTube streets, in these Twitter streets, in these Reddit streets, wherever it is you commune in the virtual webs. And we are going to rep that Brooklyn Nets flag. I don't care who we see. Because let me tell you something. If the man that started the pandemic wasn't enough to stop us tonight, then you tell me who's stopping us in the playoffs. What you gonna say? What you gonna say, Boston? Oh, we got something for Boston. We got something for Milwaukee. See, these next games, they're just chemistry setters. You feel me? They're just chemistry setters. They're little beaker tubes that we fill experience with to mix up the chemistry. We ain't scared of nobody. It's playoff time yet again. It's playoff time yet again, and we are safely in the 6th seed, avoiding that play-in 1,000. Let's look to see who it is that we play next and who is around us in the various conference, because I want to make it clear, don't nobody want to see us. We're the no Katy Perry dark horse, we're the sleepers, we're the X Factor, we're all that. Our next game is, God, we play the Nuggets. God! I'm not scared of them. I'm not scared of them. Okay, I got Bruce Brown. Okay. They got Jeff Green still, I think. Okay. I'm not scared of them. Didn't one of their guards tonight put their paws on someone's neck or something like that? We're supposed to be afraid of that? We're supposed to be afraid of Jokic? We're supposed to be afraid of Captain Flippity Flab Jokic? I ain't worried. I ain't worried in the slightest. Because number one, we're going to win. Number one, we're going to win. And number two, this is simply a pebble. This is simply a speed bump. This is simply a roadblock on the way to the playoffs. It's just more chances for chemistry. Hypothetically, if Claxton gets exposed by Jokic, these are just learning moments to get ready for Embiid. You feel me? We're good. We're goody good. We're going to run up in Denver and we're going to embarrass them bums. We're going to show them that they put the faith in the wrong number 15 in Denver. They should be retiring Melo's jersey right now. But we'll show them. We'll show them that Brooklyn ain't nothing to sleep with and ain't nothing to be messed with. Because it's playoff time, y'all. It's time for positivity. It's time for energy. It's time for confidence. I have faith in them. Let's look at the Eastern Conference. We're going to ignore the fact that we're playing Denver. Is it a late game? 3 p.m. on Sunday. I hate those weird middle of the day games. I have Sunday off work, so I'll be able to see that. So I'll be here to cover that shenanigans after we pull off one of the greatest upsets of all time. Eastern Conference. Let's see who is around us. Let me update it just to make sure this is up to date. We are still the 6th seed, and we are only a half a game behind the Knicks. So if the Knicks were to lose a game, we would immediately go into the 5th seed. And the Heat are nowhere near us, so we really don't need to worry about that. Yeah, the only other teams are the Bucks, the Celtics, the Sixers, the Cavs. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Because the play-in goes down to like 10 or 11. So that's the Bulls, Wizards, Raptors. If we meet any of them, we're clapping them. Yeah, we're good. And honestly, it might be in our best interest to stay at 6, keeping it all the way at that way. That way we avoid those higher tier teams and we avoid like the really, really low ones. So we keep it mid-tier. Right. Keep it mid-tier. I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be just fine. We're going to march into the playoffs, and we're going to see how far we get. I'm not predicting anything as far as like a championship or anything like that. Like, I ain't that delusional. But I want to see how far they can get, and I think we're going to make a lot of noise. So grab your kazoos, grab your thunder sticks, and we're going to go make some noise. I will see y'all on Sunday afternoon to cover this glorious team that I love 1,000% and have no negative thoughts or controversial opinions on. We are going to go out there and we are going to win. So put on your winning pants, and if you don't have legs, pretend you can. That's the best I got. I'll see y'all Sunday.